I hope you're well. Okay, it's a little sunny, huh? I'll just go somewhere where you can see me better. I hope that you're all well and healthy. It's an interesting time in the sense that things are reopening, but we all have a different perspective on how we're approaching this in terms of how close are we going to stay to home? Are we going to travel? Are we going to go to restaurants? Some people are going back to work, in just a few days a week at the office. Some people are returning full time. Some people are working at home. It's really an interesting time. And so I really wanted to, first of all, kind of speak to the different qualities of everybody's experiences, which then also takes us to this month's topic on the power of possibility. And the thing is that, okay, sorry, my phone is being weird. Okay, we're good now. So I want to talk about the power of possibility, which is so tied to our current experience right now in the way that we're going to be approaching things. And we have the power to decide what our viewpoint is going to be like. And so to start with, kind of getting through this current weird period, we have a choice, and we can choose about how we're going to experience this. Maybe not our external circumstances in the sense, I understand, of course, people that are working in hospitals, thank you to you for taking such good care of us, for protecting us. For people who are essential workers, thank you for all you're doing for us as well. I realize that people have lost jobs, that there's financial worry, that people have lost lives as well. But we do have a choice about our internal experience, particularly if we're quite protected. And what I mean by that is we can choose a more loving experience both towards ourselves and towards life. And as an example, we can choose to look at this as a time of possibility or a time where the world is ending. And the question is, what serves you better? I'm not asking you, hi, whoever's joined, I'd love to know who it is, please comment below. We have a choice about how we're going to look at this. We can think that the world is ending, which is not going to serve us at all, or we can say, I'm going to choose to go through this in the most loving way possible. And that could be the most kindest and compassionate way towards myself, or it can also include others, and that's your choice. People, we might say, how can I help other people? And I know people who are volunteering in, I believe in homeless shelters in a very careful way, obviously. But, or you can say that I'm going to work, on a charitable initiative, which is going to help more people. Or I'm going to donate a bit of money because I happen to have a bit extra this month, or I can spare this much. So whether you help to, of course, I'm a huge advocate for philanthropy. That is something that you have to decide on what your experience is going to be. And it's also okay if you just say, I'm going to entirely focus on myself and on giving myself the best experience possible. When I say the best, I mean the kindest and most loving. Particularly over the last week, I feel like it's really being a letting go of old ideas and old ways. And as I've been saying, the pandemic has been showing us how we think, how we approach things. And for example, it's showing us how we manage challenge. I know a lot of people are feeling a lot of anxiety, and we can look at this and say, okay, is this how I want to deal with challenge going forward? Am I going to freak out? Or am I going to learn to manage this in a more productive way? Am I going to learn to help myself to have a more productive state of mind? And again, we have a choice. We can choose to freak out, or we can say that I'm going to use this as a great learning experience for myself. And the way to do that is to choose choose the higher thoughts, choose thoughts that are of greater service to you. Again, we can say that the world is ending, or we can choose to look at it as serving us so greatly because it's going to, the world is changing. There is, it's like the old way is really leaving and the new way is making itself come through. And in this weird period of transition, it's like, what do we think? And the question is I think whatever's going to be of greatest service to you, both for the sort of the entirety of our lives, but also for whenever this pandemic ends. Who do you want to be? What do you want to be? What do you want to be doing? What kind of thinking do you need to have in order to get there? What do you need to let go of? I feel like there's so much letting go of old ideas and old ways, and that's a really big question. And, you know, for example, as a dancer, I've always had this thing, because but I get it. Like, I would always be getting injured because I was pushing myself too hard. So I've let go of that way of pushing myself too hard. But I've always had this thing in the back of my mind of maybe just, you know, I have one of those bodies that's always going to be injured. And I'm like, no, that is out the window. I'm creating a new story where I am fully healthy, fully powerful, fully capable. And even as I talk to myself, my body is responding from its cells in a very different way. So I'm creating a new way going forward. I am letting go of those old fears, which are only fed by old ideas. So it's like putting your thinking cap on with new ideas inside that cap, or opening the top of the cap to let in new ideas. And we have a choice. I'm not saying that we're always going to have outcomes that are rosy. But we're certainly going to have a better, more powerful experience for ourselves. And if you can be easier on yourself, why not? You know, I feel like there's so much of this no pain, no gain. It has to be difficult, and we have to struggle. And honestly, we don't. We're going to have challenges. We're going to have to, you know, work through obstacles that are in our path. That's part of life. You know, the obstacle is the way. But we can choose about how we're going to go through this. We can choose how we're going to help ourselves. How are we going to up-level ourselves? How are we going to become the people that we want to be? Who do we want to become? How do we need to get there? These are the questions that we're able to ask ourselves and also answer for ourselves during this period. So my challenge to you today is to add more love. Every time you're feeling like thinking thoughts that just aren't of service to you, add more love. And even it's as simple as, I am kind, I am compassionate. Already that puts me in a better space of thinking, a better state of mind, where then I become more receptive to new opportunities. Look at old stories that you have been taking with you. Have the courage to set them aside. Have the courage to change your thoughts. Have the courage to choose differently. And that's where our power lies, is in choosing differently. So choose higher thoughts. Have enough self-love within yourself to choose higher thoughts. To say, this doesn't serve me. I deserve better from myself. I want more out of life. And truly, like, if you know my work, the way we get what we want is by our emotional journey. So you're not going to get it by putting yourself down all the time and refusing to accept yourself, because that is not productive, and it also keeps your vibration low. Whereas I am wonderful. I feel in it, not even into the outside world. I'm wonderful. I really feel good about myself. Say that inside yourself. Your body starts to flow better. You feel more energized. You feel more excited. It has an impact on the way you show up in the world. So why not be kind and loving towards ourselves? Why not be kind and loving towards other people in life? You know, that's the point of life, I think, is to be as human as possible. So have an awareness about where you're not choosing love, and instead make a different choice, and see the impact that choosing love has on you and also in the outside of your life. Thank you for watching. I'll be back next week with more videos.